This is Perth's #1 rated property hotspot.
And we are tipping that the double-digit growth is set to continue in 2024. And joined by our gregarious guru on the ground in Perth. Later in this video, we're going to an emerging suburb, an investment workhorse. #3 rated is a lovely beachside buyer's dream, but also our highest rated purchase location, which may surprise many of you. All the way down to potentially the riskiest area in Perth to purchase property. The locals call these three suburbs KGB. You can see what things might be like on the grounds, so what about the data? In each of these suburbs, there's high clusters of public housing. Whilst this does a lot of social good, it does make for hairy property investments.
Excuse me, just wondering if you had any thoughts on Girraween. What's it like living in this suburb? Are you finding it gentrifying? Excuse me, is this a good suburb to live in?
In this street pocket of Balga, over 1/4, almost 1/3 of all properties are public housing. This sometimes causes massive issues. We can see here new supply in Balga is almost 3% per annum. Hopefully the residents in these nice, shiny new homes connect with the local community for the good of all. Firstly, we're going to be heading to #5 on our list. Woohoo! The Mandurah, a beachside oasis.
Technically not part of the Perth Metro, we're actually 70 kilometres south down the coast. But since it's not exactly in Perth, we're calling it a hidden gem.
Mandurah is undergoing significant development. In terms of per capita spend, Mandurah punches way above its weight for a regional WA centre at $3,000 per person in new project spend.
Mandurah is on a growth spurt driven by allure and development effort.
With a population at about 93,000 in 2021, it's projected to hit over 105,000 by 2026. This is growing at almost 2.5% annually. On a national level, this is very high. Let's just simplify our thoughts here.
Awesome new developments and high population pressure at about 2.5% per annum, but still less than the 2% of new homes per annum forecasted to be constructed.
Anyone paying attention can realise that the housing shortage in this area is only set to get worse.
You can see here in the north of Mandurah, there are a few suburbs with lots of new homes in the construction pipeline. But in the heart of Mandurah, good luck in building a new home anytime soon.
No room, mate. No room. Very, very busy, all right, mate? Everyone wants a house done. They want it right now, all right? No chance.
Get this, Mandurah is on fire. Tick, 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 tick. New projects and this unbeatable lifestyle are making everyone want to move there. If only they had a home to move to.
Finding a builder is like striking gold.
With this rush and too few new homes, brace yourself, because we're set to see prices continue to rise.
But keep it quiet. Mandurah is the secret spot that locals wish stayed under wraps.
On a national level, this is pretty special. It's the dream life at dream prices. Imagine snagging a home just 20 years young or even less. A 2-minute stroll from the beach boasting 4 bedrooms and a garage, all for less than $500,000.
And Perth, a growing global city, is just a 40-minute drive away.
When we stack up all the local government areas, Mandurah shines bright, grabbing the #2 overall spot in terms of growth potential for our Ripehouse R score. Over at Picki, Mandurah is the #1 most followed area, so investors are already sitting up and taking notice. Overall rating for Mandurah, if it was in Perth, is #5 in the entire of WA. I get the feeling prices won't start with a 4 for much longer down in this neck of the woods.
So now we know that WA capital growth is not just limited to Perth. Next, we head to the city of Gosnells, a low socio area.
Some say it's about the challenges, we say it's about the potential.
For me, it's really important to understand the current and potential future scope for public housing. Take the actual suburb of Gosnells itself for an example. Some street pockets have 0% public housing. We can see here and we can see here. Others have over 30% public housing here in the north of social housing. We need to remember this, to check public housing at a suburban street level when we are thinking about investing in the Gosnells. With new parks and community centres, the city of Gosnells is breathing new life into its streets. The $1.25 billion Thornley to Cockburn train link is anticipated to benefit Gosnells by improving public transport connections to the Perth metro area. This project aims to create direct rail links between the eastern suburbs and the southern corridor, potentially reducing travel times dramatically. Population is set to increase from almost 140,000 in 2024 to 167,000 by 2036. This represents a change of 19.4% over this 12-year period, reflecting the community's growth mindset. Perhaps more importantly, when we compare projected population growth to current new housing supply levels, we can see once again a chronic undersupply of new housing to meet these new levels.
You can feel it on the ground here.
Tick, 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 tick. Although Gosnells has had its issues with crime and drugs, things are on the up and up in certain locations. Gosnells is more than its past. Just because an area has or once had local stigma doesn't mean it's automatically ruled out.
In the next coming weeks, I'll be doing a deep dive on which suburbs and streets are the best to focus our attention as property buyers and investors, especially in the Gosnells and other areas in this video.
Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be the first to know when this video is posted.
All right, wrapping this up.
Drum roll. It's a blowout from a pure data perspective. But buyers and investors are slow to catch on. Maybe a little afraid to tread in these waters, Gosnells is number 4 on the amount of investors following them over on Picki.
And now let's stay in the south, number 3 on our list of the best areas in Perth to buy or invest. Let's dive into the City of Rockingham's story.
This working class area shines with its beaches and community vibe.
Rockingham isn't just about the sun and the sand and the surf. Between me and you, there's a lot of big stuff going on around here.
Think of it as a diamond in the rough. Rockingham is a heavy hitter in WA. Significant developments include the expansion and enhancement of the Aqua Jetty at $29 million plus to accommodate population growth.
Rockingham buzzes with events that bring people together. This vibe is gold for investors.
Over the next 3 years, the City of Rockingham population is set to increase by 5.4% through to 2026. That is forecasted to push an extremely strong population growth figure over the next 2 decades, where population is projected to grow from almost 150,000 people today to over 131,000 people by 2046.
The horse may have already bolted in Rockingham for this short-term property cycle, but remember, we are also looking at the long term.
The fleet-based West, located at HMAS Stirling on Garden Island near Rockingham, is the Royal Australian Navy's primary base in Australia, housing also our much talked about submarine fleet.
Okay, what is the WAP?
Ranked number 9 in terms of the Ripehouse R score, we have already seen some short-term capital growth in this location. But Rockingham is off the charts for WA in terms of buyer and investor interest, with many hundreds of expert investors over on Picki already owning properties in the area sitting in their existing portfolio. This area would suit those who like a little support from a pack of buyers to give them confidence and maybe are looking for a longer term play. Buyer rating is number 3 for Rockingham in WA.
Things are really starting to get interesting.
Right next door, just a little further inland, number 2 on our list of the best areas in Perth to buy or invest, Armadale. A blend of urban renewal and green spaces is catching the eye of investors. But what lies beneath its evolving skyline?
It's a mix of nature and new beginnings. And the area's not just changing, it's thriving.
You need to peek beneath the surface because Armadale's transformation is more than cosmetic.
So let's peel back the layers and see why buyers and investors should be watching closely.
Armadale is witnessing significant economic development. With projects like the construction of a new courthouse and police complex, the $600 million Byford Rail extension and the new state-of-the-art TAFE campus. The scope of these projects is really off the charts for areas like Armadale. Armadale's population is set to increase by a tremendous 9.3% through to 2026. On a national level, that is really high. Longer range, that is set to push on with population projected to increase from about 107,000 people today to 146,000 by 2046. Once again, this South Perth area seems to be a focal point for the state government to accommodate the high population growth targets of this emerging global city. I would say 2024 is the beginning of Armidale's new era. The level of investment is outstanding, set to rapidly gentrify key suburb and street pockets in this area. Once again, tick, tick, tick and tick.
In Armidale, the focus is on creating spaces where communities thrive together.
For me, it's about creating spaces where life happens, and that's where smart investments grow.
Okay, the Armidale wrap.
Ranked number 4 in the Ripehouse R score, things are firing on all cylinders here. But the word is also getting out quickly for buyer and investor interest, and lots of investors over on Picki already owning properties there, having jumped in quickly in 2023 where the data really did start to emerge. Overall rating for Armidale is number 2 in the entire of WA.
Alright, hold up a second. We're about to show you the best place in Perth to invest. But first I've got something really important to share with you.
I would like to help in 3 ways. First, there's Picki. It's like a secret map to finding the best investment spots and seeing the real deal about properties for sale. Stuff that's often kept quiet by the seller. You may have noticed all the awesome maps and property details used in this video. That's Picki, and it's totally free for our viewers using the link in the description of this video. Then there's the awesome community we've built on Facebook called High Performance Property Investment. It's a place where we all come together to talk property, share our wins and learn from each other. It's about getting the inside scoop and support, making sure you're never going at it alone. The link's once again in the description.
And for those of you wanting to take it up a notch, needing a little bit more assistance,
if you would like to learn from me about how I purchase property, or even have me purchase for you, then check out my investment masterclass video here. The link is in the description.
who knows, you might like to check out all 3. Without further ado,
our number 1 buyer and investor location for 2024 is Wanneroo, where diversity meets opportunity. This isn't just Perth's northern buyer gem, it's the crown jewel of investment potential.
In this area, every corner tells a story of diversity and opportunity.
Wanneroo stands alone in a competitive market, so let's deep dive into the community's success. Firstly, the story begins with how it exists now. Wanneroo is extremely well serviced. Look at this access to the beach, to the train line into the CBD, to these major arteries, these highways, to the lifestyle factors here, and then also inland. You've got business parks to the north, and you've got employment down here to the south. This is a suitable place to facilitate the middle class expansion of Perth in a world not reliant on the mining boom.
Current residents are employed in a diverse mix of industries, including construction, retail, education, manufacturing, and health.
Now, for me, diversity of employment is incredibly important here. This is not a one-horse town. Wanneroo has incredible diversity in employment. Internally, we have a strong mix of local projects that ensures Wanneroo has parks, schools and events that brings the community together. The $65 million Alkimos Aquatic Recreation Centre project is a significant development in the city of Wanneroo, aiming to offer indoor and outdoor swimming pools, gym, fitness facilities, sports courts, a creche, cafe and much more. Externally to Wanneroo, but crucial in improving the quality of life and attractiveness for residents of Wanneroo.
Us Perth residents prefer to drive in our cars with the aircon on versus taking the sweaty train with everybody else.
To hammer this home, check out this map of Wanneroo and the city access points all the way down towards the Perth CBD. Each and every one of these is an individual project to improve the access to the city. Projected population growth through 2026 is at 5.8%, once again really leading the country forth. That's a lot of new residents who need new homes or are willing to pay more for those that are existing. By 2046, Wanneroo's population is expected to grow significantly, from about 150,000 people today to over 231,000.
This growth reflects the area's ongoing attractiveness as a place to live, work, and to play, highlighting the city's potential for future expansion. Again, if you're looking for a builder, good luck.
Wanneroo is no different to most of Perth, with supply chain shortages and high building costs jamming a handbrake onto new housing supply.
Oh mate, no mate, I don't have fucking time to...
Although some suburbs in the north have had really high new home construction, the focus of our attention is inland and closer to the Perth CBD. This is an established area with very few new homes in the construction pipeline.
We are smack bang in middle market Perth.
Outstanding. Tick, tick, tick and tick. Exactly where new demand sits.
Check out this recent WA Today article highlights.
While Perth has significant urban infill targets, it is the suburbs sprawling north and south of the CBD that have accommodated the lion's share of the city's burgeoning population.
Nowhere is this more evident than in the two large new base primary schools currently being constructed in the Wanneroo suburbs of Brabham and Eglinton.
Don't fight against the federal and state government policy.
Okay, the Wanneroo wrap.
Ranked number 3 in terms of the Ripehouse R capital growth score, although there has already been some growth, we're still firmly in the mix with the best locations for short and mid-term growth. Over on Picki, informed buyers are starting to sit up and take notice. Overall rating for Wanneroo is number 1 in the entire of WA. Wanneroo stands at the pinnacle, a testament to Perth's bright future. We've journeyed across Perth, uncovering the hidden gems and the prime investments that define this city.
Remember, in the world of real estate investment, knowledge is your key to unlocking potential.